Across the galaxy, Earth was a punchline. Alien civilizations laughed at the blue planet, mocking its small fleets, fragile colonies, and the primitive technology humans still relied on. Star systems that had mastered faster-than-light travel, weapons capable of wiping out planets, and fleets numbering in the thousands regarded humanity as harmless, more curious than dangerous, more amusing than a threat. On the bridges of alien warships, commanders smirked as they observed human diplomats fumbling with interstellar protocol. "Primitive," one said. "I can't believe they call themselves a spacefaring species," another replied. Fleets patrolled the borders of the Sol system, scanning the skies, but never with fear. No one thought humanity could fight back. No one imagined that humans could even plan beyond their own atmosphere. But on Earth, the story was different. Beneath the oceans, deep within the mountains, and across hidden orbital stations, humanity worked quietly. Scientists, engineers, and generals met in secret. They studied alien movements, intercepted communications, and analyzed fleets far stronger than their own. Every laugh from the galaxy was catalogued, every underestimate noted. Humans had a long memory, and they had learned that arrogance was the most dangerous weakness of any species. In a vast command room beneath the Antarctic ice, Commander Jace Moran stood with his advisors, watching holographic projections of alien fleets. The models spun slowly, showing their numbers, their formations, their known capabilities. "They think we are nothing," Moran said, his voice steady and controlled. "That's their mistake." Across the room, Dr. Lyra Hahn, lead scientist on Earth's most ambitious defense projects, adjusted her visor and tapped data streams into the projection. "They've dismissed us as harmless for centuries," she said. "They won't see what's coming." Moran's eyes narrowed. "Let them keep laughing," he said. "They'll regret it. The first phase of humanity's secret plan had begun months ago. Orbital observatories intercepted alien communications, revealing patrol routes, fleet sizes, and tactical tendencies. Surface-based sensors recorded the movements of alien envoys and supply ships. Every piece of information fed a growing map of weakness and opportunity. Humans studied the galaxy like predators watch their prey, patient, precise, and relentless. Meanwhile, alien diplomats arrived on Earth for ceremonial visits. They were greeted with polite smiles, smooth words, and elaborate feasts. But behind closed doors, humans observed every gesture, every slight, every flaw. The aliens laughed, unaware that every comment, every smirk, was logged and analyzed. On Mars, hidden beneath a shielded mountain range, humanity's engineers tested prototypes the aliens could not even imagine. Ships small enough to hide in asteroid fields. Weapons that bent physics, gravity, and time. Fleets built in secrecy, their designs unpredictable, untraceable. Each failure taught them lessons. Each success built their confidence. Every step was deliberate, every action measured. Even in orbit, stealth satellites recorded the galaxy's arrogance. Humans had learned that the strongest species often became careless when they underestimated others. The galaxy's laugh was proof. Its attention was elsewhere, and it had left openings. On Earth's command bridge, Moran turned to Lyra. "Do they suspect anything?" he asked. Lyra shook her head. "They believe we are still primitive. They believe our weapons are simple. They think diplomacy and negotiation are our only tools. They have no idea what we've built." Moran studied the stars, visible through the viewport, thinking of distant systems and arrogant fleets. "Let them keep laughing," he repeated, quieter this time. "The galaxy is about to learn something important. Humans are not harmless. Humans are not weak. And humans never forget." In secret labs around the globe, teams of scientists activated simulations, tested engines, and analyzed alien technologies captured by intelligence teams. Humans built algorithms capable of predicting fleet movements, weapons that adapted mid-battle, and defenses that could respond faster than any alien system. They were preparing not for defense alone, but for retaliation, quiet, controlled, unstoppable. And while the galaxy saw only harmless observers, Earth had become a fortress of preparation. Every failed experiment taught resilience. Every calculated move built patience. Every laugh from the alien fleets fueled a determination stronger than any weapon. Outside, stars sparkled, as if mocking the tiny blue planet. But inside, humanity's heartbeat was steady, unyielding, and patient. The galaxy had dismissed them, yes, but dismissal carries arrogance. And arrogance is humanity's greatest advantage. Moran's voice echoed through the command center, a whisper that carried a weight far beyond its volume. Let them keep laughing. They'll regret it. The galaxy thought humans were harmless. Humanity knew better, and in the silence beneath the oceans, within the ice and through the hidden orbital stations, humans waited, watched, and prepared to prove the galaxy wrong. Nothing the aliens expected could prepare them for what humanity was about to do. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in hidden mountains and remote islands, humanity was building what the galaxy could never imagine. Vast underground complexes hummed with energy, the walls lined with alien alloys scavenged from past encounters, reinforced with human ingenuity. No alien fleet knew the location of these facilities. No alien scout could see the work being done. Humanity's arsenal was a secret, a weapon forged in patience, precision, and defiance. Commander Jace Moran walked down a corridor of flickering lights, flanked by engineers and strategists. His eyes scanned the endless rows of prototypes, each more advanced than anything the galaxy believed humans could produce. Ships small enough to hide in asteroid belts, missiles that warped space to reach targets instantly, devices that bent gravity, twisted energy, and redefined physics itself. They think we're weak, Moran said quietly. They think we can't fight. They don't know we're preparing the impossible. In the main laboratory, Dr. Lyra Han activated a new prototype, a sleek weapon codenamed Breaker 1. Blue energy coiled around its core, bending light and gravity in ways that defied understanding. Scientists watched, hearts pounding, as the machine powered up. A soft hum filled the chamber, growing louder with each passing second. The weapon's energy flared unexpectedly, and sparks flew. Alarms blared. Engineers dove for cover as Lyra steadied the controls. "Shut it down," Moran shouted, but Lyra held her hand steady. "Not yet," she said. "We're at the edge. This is where humanity learns what it's capable of." The hum reached a crescendo. Then, with a sudden pulse, the room fell silent. The first test had succeeded partially. Breaker 1 had bent the laws of physics without destroying the lab. The engineers cheered quietly, relief and awe mingling in their voices. Humanity had taken the first step toward weapons the galaxy could not anticipate. Meanwhile, satellite arrays in orbit intercepted alien communications. The messages were full of arrogance, disbelief, and the casual dismissal of humans. Fleets patrolled nearby systems unconcerned. They had no idea that every movement, every patrol route had been observed and recorded by human intelligence. Moran studied the intercepted transmissions on a holographic display. "They've underestimated us," he said. "Completely. And that will be their downfall." Over the next weeks, humanity's scientists tested more prototypes. Breaker 2, a gravitational manipulator capable of tearing enemy ships apart without a shot. Breaker 3, a stealth fleet invisible to any known sensors. And Breaker 4, a missile that could adapt mid-flight to avoid interception. Each test was more ambitious, more dangerous, and more impossible than the last. And yet the humans persisted. Every failure became a lesson. Every near catastrophe taught resilience. The galaxy laughed, but the laughter never reached the underground labs, where the hum of machinery and the whispers of genius filled the air. One night, in the observation chamber of the largest complex, Moran and Lyra watched a simulation of an alien fleet. Hundreds of ships moved in formation, confident and deadly. Breakers 1 through 4 activated in sequence, striking the simulated fleet with precision, erasing entire squadrons in seconds. Lyra turned to Moran, eyes wide. "If they ever see this, they'll panic." Moran's gaze was cold, calculating. "They won't see it until it's too late. That's the advantage humanity has always had. patience, observation, and the courage to build what others fear, even as the weapons were being tested. Human intelligence agents infiltrated alien trade routes and outposts, collecting plans, weaknesses, and operational data. Humanity was not just preparing weapons. They were learning the enemy, understanding it in ways no alien could comprehend. Back in the lab, the final prototype of the day, Breaker 5, powered up. Its core pulsed with golden energy, bending light so it seemed to disappear from view. Engineers held their breath. When it fired in a controlled test, the target drone vanished entirely, leaving no trace. The room erupted in awe. Humanity had created something the galaxy had never thought possible, something unstoppable. Moran looked out of the observation window at the stars. "The galaxy believes humans are harmless," he whispered. "They believe in their own superiority. Let them. Every laugh, every mockery, every dismissal is fuel. The weapons we're building, they are just the beginning." Lyra's eyes followed his gaze. "And when the time comes, we'll show them what harmless really means." The first wave of prototypes had succeeded. Humans had begun reshaping the balance of power, quietly, without a single alien knowing. The galaxy's laughter was about to turn into panic. Moran turned to Lyra one final time. "Let them keep underestimating us," he said. "The moment they realize we were preparing all along, it will be too late." Above Earth, satellites recorded nothing unusual. Fleets patrolled empty space. Alien diplomats continued to smile. They still believed humanity was harmless. But deep beneath the surface, humanity was awake, patient, and deadly. And the galaxy would soon learn that dismissing humans had always been the greatest mistake it could make. The galaxy awoke one morning to a silence that was unfamiliar and terrifying. Alien civilizations, once confident and arrogant, were suddenly left in shock. Entire colonies that had laughed at humanity, mocking its fragile fleets and primitive technology, now vanished without a trace. Cities, fleets, and installations disappeared as if they had never existed. And for the first time, the galaxy realized one undeniable truth: humanity was no longer harmless. On the surface of a remote alien planet, scientists watched as their monitoring stations flickered and died. Communications failed. Satellites blinked out. Panic spread quickly as fleets scrambled to respond, firing blindly into the void. But there was nothing to target, nothing to fight. Humanity's weapons had struck, unseen, unstoppable, and absolute. In orbit above Mars, Commander Jace Moran observed the results from a hidden human fleet. His eyes were calm, but his mind raced through the possibilities. The first strike had gone perfectly. Breaker 1, Breaker 2, and Breaker 3 had worked in harmony, dismantling the enemy's defenses before a single alarm could be sounded. "Status report," Moran said, voice steady. Dr. Lyra Han tapped the control panel. "Target worlds confirmed, neutralized. No human casualties. Energy readings consistent with predicted models. Alien responses chaotic." Moran's lips curved into a faint smile. "Good. Let them scramble. Let them realize their arrogance was a mistake." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, alien fleets were in disarray. Commanders argued over what had happened, calling for counterattacks, only to find that their forces had been crippled before they could engage. Reports from surviving colonies described empty skies, silent cities, and vanished installations. Even the most advanced alien weapons failed to detect the human strike. On Earth, secret observation rooms filled with analysts cheered quietly, knowing the galaxy would never see this coming. Every test, every simulation, every secret experiment had led to this moment. Humanity had turned the tables. The species that everyone had dismissed as harmless had become the predator. In the Human Command Center beneath Antarctica, Moran studied a projection of the destroyed colonies. Red dots represented targets neutralized. Blue dots represented fleets in orbit, now drifting aimlessly. Green dots indicated human forces, hidden and untraceable. The pattern was perfect. The first strike was precise, surgical, and overwhelming. Lyra Han approached Moran, her voice low. "They won't believe this. They can't even understand how we did it." Moran nodded. "Which is exactly why we did it. Humans always surprise those who underestimate us. They laughed at our technology, at our fleets, at our ingenuity. Now they'll fear it." Even as humanity celebrated quietly, reconnaissance drones in alien-controlled space transmitted fragmented messages back to the galaxy. Questions, disbelief, panic. "Impossible," they said. "They should not be capable." Moran turned to his team. "This is only the beginning. They've underestimated us for centuries, but that laughter ends today. They believed humans were fragile. They thought we couldn't hurt them. Now they know the truth." Deep within, the alien command hubs, a senior officer stared at the empty star charts. Where did they come from? How can they do this? No one had an answer. Humanity's weapons were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Each one was unpredictable, adaptive, and devastating. The aliens could not counter them because they did not exist in their calculations, their strategies, or even their imagination. Back on Earth, Moran watched the stars, the glow of distant, destroyed worlds reflected in his eyes. "We gave them a warning," he said quietly, "and they ignored it. They thought we were harmless. They thought they were safe. They were wrong." Lyra Han frowned. "Do you think they'll strike back?" Moran's expression was calm but firm. "They will. The galaxy never forgives weakness. But we're ready. And when they do, we'll be waiting." For the first time, humans across the planet felt a quiet satisfaction. The species that had been laughed at, mocked, and dismissed had proven that it could not only survive, but dominate. Humanity had executed the first strike with precision, intelligence, and foresight. But somewhere, in the darkness of space, a faint pulse of communication flickered. Alien fleets were beginning to regroup. Commanders whispered of retaliation, fleets recalculated positions, and the galaxy slowly awakened to the idea that humanity was no longer a species to be underestimated. Moran turned from the star charts and addressed his team. "The galaxy has learned a lesson today," he said. "Underestimate humanity at your own peril. This is only the first strike. The war has just begun." Above them, Earth spun silently, its blue oceans reflecting the distant stars. The planet had always seemed fragile, weak, and small. But now it was a fortress, a predator, a force that had changed the balance of power in the galaxy with a single decisive blow. The galaxy had laughed at humanity, and now it would remember. Across the galaxy, panic spread like wildfire. The colonies that had once mocked humanity were now silent. Fleets that had scouted, harassed, and ignored Earth drifted aimlessly, their crews unsure what had happened. The aliens had called humans harmless, weak, primitive, but that illusion had been shattered in an instant. In the Grand Council chambers of the Galactic Alliance, representatives from dozens of star systems gathered in emergency session. Holographic projections of destroyed colonies floated above the central dais. Alien delegates argued in heated voices, their faces twisted with fear, anger, and disbelief. "This is impossible," shouted Admiral Valar, the commander of the Zenith fleets. "Entire colonies erased in seconds. Our sensors show nothing. No human fleet, no weapons fire, nothing." "Impossible," another delegate echoed, her claws gripping the edge of her console. "We outnumber them 1,000 to 1. They should have no chance." "But they struck anyway," a third said, voice trembling, "and the galaxy is trembling with them." Deep beneath the council chambers, hidden human agents intercepted the transmissions. Every word of panic, every doubt, every desperate strategy was recorded and analyzed. Humanity had learned a long time ago that the greatest advantage was not strength, but the element of surprise. And now, The aliens were unprepared and terrified. In the council, debate raged. Some urged negotiation, claiming that humans could be reasoned with. Others demanded annihilation, fleets mobilized, and all known tactics employed. Fear had fractured their unity, turning the once powerful alliance into a room of whispers, accusations, and chaos. Back on Earth, Commander Jace Moran watched the intercepted holograms from the secret control center. His expression was calm, composed, but his eyes sparkled with the thrill of strategy. "They can't think clearly," he said to Dr. Lirahan. "Fear clouds judgment, and fear is the weapon we've already given them." Lyra nodded. "Their fleets are preparing for retaliation, but they don't understand what we've built." "They can't." "Good," Moran replied. "They'll waste time, they'll overreach, they'll make mistakes, and we'll be ready when they do." Elsewhere, human spies in alien space sent false intelligence. Supply routes were tampered with. Recon data was altered. Alien commanders were left questioning their own fleets, unsure who was friend or foe. Humanity had turned the galaxy's panic into confusion, a psychological weapon as deadly as any missile. In the council chamber, one alien leader slammed a clawed fist on the table. "We must act. They cannot be allowed to continue. Mobilize the fleets. Strike Earth directly." A murmur spread across the room. Others shook their heads. "No," one said. "They are unpredictable. Their technology, it's unlike anything we've ever faced. We cannot engage blindly. We must plan, wait, analyze." Moran leaned back in his chair on Earth, watching the chaos unfold on his holographic monitors. "Planning, analyzing, that's what humans do best," he muttered. "Let them prepare. Let them hesitate. Their fear is ours to use." Meanwhile, alien fleets scrambled, sending signals and forming defensive formations. Yet every move they made played into human calculations. Every reaction, every command was anticipated and countered. Through hidden satellites, stealth ships, and adaptive algorithms, humanity's first strike had been devastating, but it was the precision, planning, and understanding of alien psychology that would make the next phase unstoppable. In a secret lab, Lirahan adjusted the settings on Breaker 6, the latest in the human arsenal. Its power pulsed like a heartbeat, designed to respond to alien fleet movements in real time. "They'll come for us," she said. Moran's gaze did not waver from the holograms of the terrified council. "Let them come. The galaxy has underestimated humans for centuries. That mistake ends now." A low murmur ran through the human control room. Analysts whispered as new intelligence arrived. Fleets were moving, some toward Earth, some retreating in confusion. Every alien commander was reacting differently, but the result was the same: disorder, hesitation, and fear. Moran's lips curved into a faint smile. "They called us harmless. They thought our weapons were weak, and now they're learning the cost of underestimating us." Outside, the stars remained silent, indifferent to the struggles of civilizations. But beneath that calm, humanity prepared for the storm. Fleets, weapons, and hidden installations waited in silence, ready to strike again. The first strike had been a warning. The Council's chaos proved it worked. The galaxy had finally taken notice, and humanity, patient, precise, and unstoppable, had just begun. The galaxy burned. Planets that had once mocked humanity were now engulfed in fire and smoke. Alien colonies, proud and powerful, crumbled under strikes they could not see coming. Cities that had laughed at Earth's primitive fleets disappeared as human weapons struck with surgical precision. The stars above seemed indifferent, but below, chaos reigned. Commander Jace Moran watched from the bridge of Earth's flagship, the room dark except for the glow of holographic projections. Red dots marked destroyed colonies. Green represented human fleets, moving unseen and untouchable. Blue showed surviving alien forces, confused, scattered, and terrified. "They thought we were weak," Moran said softly. "They thought we were harmless. Let's show them what harmless really means." Dr. Lyra Han adjusted the controls of Breaker 7, the latest in a line of human weapons designed to spread destruction across multiple worlds simultaneously. Energy flared as the weapon powered up, folding space and launching a series of invisible strikes. Targets across distant star systems erupted in synchronized flashes, leaving alien commanders scrambling to respond. Across the galaxy, fleets tried to regroup. Alien commanders barked orders into empty space. "Report! Report!" they shouted, claws gripping consoles as if sheer force could bring their lost colonies back. But reports never came. Satellites had vanished. Communication networks had failed. The humans had struck again and again, leaving nothing but silence in their wake. Moran's eyes scanned the projections. "Every strike hits precisely where we planned," he said. "No collateral damage to our assets. Every move calculated. Every enemy fleet weakened. They won't recover from this. The first wave of human weapons had destroyed orbital defenses. The second had cut off supply lines. The third struck with adaptive precision, hitting ships as they tried to flee. Planets fell not because humans were stronger in numbers, but because they had anticipated every reaction, calculated every variable, and exploited weaknesses the aliens had never imagined. On one devastated planet, alien citizens stared at the sky in horror as their cities disappeared. Energy beams streaked across the atmosphere, tearing buildings apart. Entire fleets drifted aimlessly, engines failing, shields down. Fear spread faster than any human weapon. In Earth's command center, analysts whispered, amazed at the effectiveness of the operation. "It's perfect," one said. "They can't respond. Not in time." Lyra Han's fingers danced across the controls, monitoring energy flows, targeting coordinates, and adaptive responses. "We're hitting every target before they even know we're there," she said. "Their arrogance is their weakness," Moran nodded. "The galaxy believes in invincibility. They think their fleets and colonies are untouchable. But they forgot one thing: humans never give up. Humans never stop. And humans never follow rules the galaxy expects." As the strikes continued, alien leaders tried desperately to call a meeting, to unite their forces, to coordinate a counterattack. But every attempt failed. Communication lines collapsed. Fleets collided with each other in panic. Ships fired blindly, only to destroy themselves or drift into the void. Humanity had not only struck with weapons, but with strategy so precise it crippled the galaxy's ability to respond. In the observation room of the human fleet, Moran and Lyra watched as planets burned. "This is only the beginning," Moran said, voice calm yet carrying a weight of promise. "Every world we touch teaches the galaxy a lesson. Underestimate humanity, and you pay the price." Outside, the stars were quiet, indifferent witnesses to the destruction below. But humans were not indifferent. Every fleet, every weapon, every strategic strike had been measured, tested, and executed with precision. Humanity had turned the tables, transforming from the dismissed underdog into the most feared species in the galaxy. Lyra Han looked at Moran. "Do you think they understand yet?" Moran shook his head. "No, and that's what makes it beautiful. They're still scrambling, still trying to comprehend, still thinking they might find a way to stop us. They can't, not yet. And when they realize, it will be too late. Humanity had ignited a new era. A galaxy that once laughed at Earth now cowered before it. And for the first time, humans felt the full weight of their power. Not in arrogance, but in resolve. The universe had believed humans were harmless, and now entire worlds were learning just how wrong they had been. The galaxy had finally realized the truth. Humanity was not harmless. Alien fleets, once scattered and disorganized, were now regrouping for the largest counterattack in recorded history. Across star systems, admirals barked orders. Ships scrambled from docks and orbital stations, engines blazing as they moved toward Earth in coordinated fury. The galaxy intended to crush the humans once and for all, but Earth was ready. Commander Jace Moran stood on the bridge of the flagship Indomitable, observing the approaching armada. His expression was calm, unreadable, but his mind raced through every calculation. This was exactly the moment humanity had prepared for. Every test, every prototype, every simulation had led to this confrontation. Status on the forward shields? Moran asked. Dr. Lyra Han tapped her console. All shields at full capacity. Breakers 1 through 10 are online. Stealth fleets in position. Adaptive targeting algorithms synced. They won't see us coming until we choose to reveal ourselves. Moran nodded. Good. Let them bring their confidence. Let them think numbers and technology will win. They've forgotten one thing. The human mind is the ultimate weapon. In the void, alien fleets advanced, glowing like rivers of metal and fire. Thousands of ships, from nimble fighters to colossal dreadnoughts, moved in formation, radiating lethal intent. From the aliens' perspective, victory was inevitable. From Earth, it was just the opening move of a much larger game. The first wave of alien vessels entered the outer perimeter of human-controlled space. Sensors picked them up, and the breakers responded instantly. Breaker 1 bent space around the nearest fleet, distorting their formations. Breaker 2 emitted gravitational pulses that tore engines apart mid-flight. Alien ships collided, shields failed, and confusion spread faster than any weapon. Moran's voice was calm, almost serene. Phase 1 complete. Watch the pattern. Breaker 3 activated, deploying stealth drones that slipped silently into the alien fleet. Within minutes, the drones disabled targeting systems, leaving the enemy firing blindly. Breaker 4 released an energy surge that shredded defensive shields, while Breaker 5 targeted command ships, leaving entire squadrons leaderless and disorganized. Across the galaxy, alien commanders struggled to respond. Communications overlapped, orders conflicted, and panic erupted among the crews. Every human prediction had been accurate. Every alien countermeasure was anticipated. Humanity's precision was unmatched. From Earth, Moran watched the chaos unfold. They underestimated us. Again, he muttered, and it will cost them everything. The aliens, however, were not defeated yet. They had amassed their strongest ships, deploying fleets never before seen. Weapons capable of annihilating planets powered up, and energy beams lanced through space, striking human outposts. For a moment, alarms blared. Shields flickered. Humanity faced real danger, but Moran's calm never wavered. Trigger Breaker 6, he said. The weapon, a massive adaptive pulse generator, released a wave of energy that disabled entire alien warships at once. Engines died. Systems collapsed. The attackers were stunned. Breaker 7 online, Lyra Han added. Gravity wells deployed. They won't escape. Alien fleets tried to regroup, but every attempt was countered by human ingenuity. Breaker 8 struck at supply lines. Breaker 9 disoriented sensors, making coordination impossible. Breaker 10 fired a devastating wave that scattered the remaining ships, forcing a retreat. The battle raged for hours, yet humanity remained unbroken. Not a single major asset was lost. Alien forces were battered, humiliated, and retreating. Panic had replaced arrogance. Confidence had been shattered. The galaxy had learned that underestimating humanity was catastrophic. Moran leaned back, voice low but resolute. They thought strength alone would win. They didn't understand strategy, precision, and adaptability. Humanity doesn't just fight. We think, we innovate, we survive. Lyra Han's fingers hovered over the controls, monitoring the retreating enemy. They'll be back, she said. Stronger, faster. They won't forget this. Moran's eyes narrowed. Let them come. Every attack only teaches us more. Every move they make is an opportunity. Humanity is ready for the long game. Across the galaxy, alien fleets limped home, battered and confused. The legend of humanity had grown from dismissible to terrifying. One thing was clear: the species they had called Harmless was now the deadliest force they had ever faced, and humanity had only just begun to fight. The galaxy held its breath. After months of chaos, destruction, and retreat, the alien fleets had regrouped for one final desperate assault. Every remaining dreadnought, every elite fighter, and every hidden superweapon was mobilized to strike Earth and crush humanity once and for all. Across distant star systems, Admirals whispered of humanity's cunning, their minds haunted by the ghosts of failed strikes and destroyed colonies. The galaxy knew it was facing something it could never fully understand, but Earth was ready. Commander Jace Moran stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, the flagship of the human fleet, watching the enemy approach. The stars beyond the viewport were alive with movement, fleets numbering in the tens of thousands converging on the Sol system. Yet Moran's expression was calm, even confident. Humanity had prepared for this moment, for every possible scenario. "Deploy Breaker X," he ordered. A hush fell over the bridge. Breaker X, the 11th weapon, had been kept secret even from most of the human fleet. Hidden beneath Earth for decades, its power was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was not just a weapon, it was a promise, a force designed to counter threats that no conventional fleet could withstand. Dr. Lyra Han activated the controls. The hum of Breaker X filled the control room, low at first, then growing into a deep, resonant pulse that seemed to vibrate through the very core of the planet. Energy flowed into orbit, linking with every human vessel, every stealth drone, every adaptive system. The galaxy's might was about to meet humanity's ultimate defense. Outside, alien fleets surged forward, confident and deadly. Their energy beams lanced toward human outposts. Massive ships fired supercharged missiles meant to flatten continents. But each strike met invisible barriers, adaptive countermeasures, and precision attacks that left alien forces scrambling in confusion. Breaker X activated fully. A golden pulse rippled through space, bending physics in ways the galaxy had never seen. Alien warships were ripped from formation, shields shattered, engines disabled mid-flight. Command vessels spun helplessly, unable to coordinate attacks. Entire fleets drifted into the void, powerless against a force they could neither predict nor comprehend. Moran's voice was calm, but filled with steel. They believed strength alone would win. They thought numbers and firepower could break us. They were wrong. In the alien command hubs, fear reached a new level. Admirals yelled into empty channels, clawing at holographic displays that no longer responded. Entire battle plans crumbled as the humans struck with a combination of precision, adaptability, and a weapon the galaxy had no concept of. Even as Breaker X reshaped the battlefield, human fleets moved with deadly efficiency. Stealth ships infiltrated, adaptive missiles targeted key systems, and drones disabled weapons before they could fire. The galaxy had brought everything it had, and still humanity held every advantage. On Earth, Moran looked at Lyra Han. This is it, the reckoning. Humanity has waited centuries for this moment, and we will not fail, Lyra nodded. Breaker X is more than a weapon. It's a statement. The galaxy will never forget it. The pulse of Breaker X intensified. Alien fleets were shattered, disoriented, and on the brink of annihilation. For the first time, humans could see their own legend unfolding. The species that had been dismissed as harmless, weak, and primitive now dominated the battlefield, unstoppable and resolute. As the dust of war settled across distant systems, Moran addressed the human fleet. We did not strike out of hatred. We struck to survive, to defend, and to claim our place in the galaxy. Humanity is here. We endure, we innovate, we fight, and we will never be underestimated again. Alien civilizations sent emissaries to the remnants of their fleets, begging for ceasefires, surrendering territories, and acknowledging the power of a species they had once mocked. Humanity's rise was complete, not through sheer numbers or brute force alone, but through intelligence, ingenuity, and the courage to defy the galaxy's expectations. But even in victory, Moran knew that the galaxy was vast and unpredictable. Somewhere beyond known space, threats still lurked, older, stronger, and beyond imagination. Breaker X had ensured survival today, but tomorrow would require humanity's ingenuity all over again. Lyra Han watched the stars, sensing the weight of history being rewritten. "We've won the war, but the universe is far from done with us," Moran's gaze remained steady, his voice firm. Let them come. Humanity has endured worse. We've faced the impossible and survived. The galaxy learned the hard way never to underestimate us. And next time, we'll be ready. Above Earth rotated quietly, blue oceans reflecting distant stars. The planet that had once seemed fragile, insignificant and defenseless had become the axis of a new order. Humanity had taken its place not as prey, but as a predator, clever, adaptive, and unstoppable. The galaxy had assumed humans were harmless. Humanity had turned that assumption into a weapon, and the universe would never forget.